Hi and welcome to our Pilates For Runners series of exercises. We're going to be working our feet and ankle strength, but also mobility of the feet and ankles. We're going to be working on leg strength, but very importantly our single leg strength. We're going to be working on thoracic rotation and thoracic mobility. That counter rotation is very important in the running. Also, good thoracic organisation is going to give us good capacity for breath. We're going to be working through our arms and shoulders to get that good connection into our running. We're going to be working a lot with our proximal control to stabilise and give us balance. And then most importantly for the runners, we're going to be working a lot on hip extension to give you that power to drive forward. Plus we'll also be just working a lot through general Pilates to give length and release through the entire body and integration of arms and legs to each other. So we work through our diagonal slings, both anterior and posterior slings. We're going to need a mat and a cushion and also some balls. A tennis ball will do. I've got a Franklin ball and a spiky ball, and we want to start off with some mobility for the feet. So I'm going to start with my spiky ball. I'm going to place my heel on the ball, and then I'm going to press down and draw through. I'm going to do 6 of these. Most of the things we do today are in series of 6s and 3s. Press down, roll through, draw down. You can bias the big toe side if you like. That's really nice to work through that arch. You can work through the little toe side if you like. Then I'm going to come back through the centre, always just working the pressure in one direction from heel to toes. Now I'm going to sweep from side to side, so I'm going to sweep big toe to the floor, little toe to the floor, big toe, little toe. Now I'm going to just change a slightly smaller ball. That just feels slightly different. It allows me to work the array of toes very nicely. To get some mobility through the feet. Our feet need to be mobile but stable. Okay, I'm going to come onto the other foot now. So again, heel pressing, work through the plantar side of the foot, draw back to your toes, release it, draw through. I'm going to do 3 down the centre. This is number 3. Now I'm going to work the big toe side, give it a bit of a back bias. I'm going to work through that little toe side. And then back down through the centre. Okay, this time I'm going to work with the Franklin ball. It's bigger, but it's ideal to get this mobility. So again, I'm going to just press down a little bit, roll to the little toe, roll to the big toe. Roll to the little toe, roll to the big toe. Maybe just sweep across the ray from side to side as well. And there, across, across. So that's mobility. This mobility for the feet is important because you want your feet to be able to adapt to the variable surfaces of the ground you're running on. Let's put those away. Now if your feet can't adapt to those sides, you're going to take that adaptation somewhere else. Maybe go take it in the hip, maybe go take it in the knee. So mobile feet to take the different variations of the ground. We're going to come for some calf and foot strength now. This is where I need my cushion. And I want to use, actually I've just jumped the gun. My first exercise is without the cushion. It's just nice and simple walking. So I'm just using balance, just fingertips. And I'm just treading through the feet. It's never wrong to take a bit of balance. It allows your mind to go into other things rather than thinking, am I balancing and controlling? It gives you good biomechanics. So you want to always look at alignment, and then from alignment and control, balance will follow. Okay, so just treading through the feet, again similar to some of the work we might do on a reformer. Now I'm going to put the cushion, and this is something we often do in a reformer because we want the inner thighs to work with the feet. So I've got that cushion up, I've got my feet quite close, fingertips just on the wall. I'm going to in-breath, squeeze the cushion and rise. And then out-breath, lower. I want the centre of my body to give the lift. So squeeze that cushion and rise. Nice and slow on the way down. And I'm thinking about the stability of my feet again. So again, work with a little bit of hand for control to get everything moving well. And then we can focus on balance. Okay, so I'm now going to take the cushion between the ankles. And I'm going to squeeze those ankles, same thing, in-breath rising, and out-breath down, in-breath rising. Notice what you feel. Again, can you get some idea and get some feeling for how everything works, rather than just bang through a series of numbers and repetitions. Really explore what you feel, going nice and slow. We'll put that cushion away. Just to come back to what we were doing with the cushion between the ankles. It works with a tennis ball. I'm using the Franklin ball. Again, just having the ball, again finding that control from the inside thighs to rise. Keep that ball squeezed. Again, it just gives some information about what's going on with the feet. And you want to use that information for our next sequence, which is we're going to come into some single calf work. Put the ball away. So the next thing is, I'm going to think about the ankles, I'm going to think about the inner thighs, I'm going to think about what that told me, I'm going to find that control, in-breath up, use that control, take one foot off and lower down. Now if I don't use that control, I sometimes shift to one side. So again, I'm going back to my, there, I'm going to control, slowly lower down. In-breath up, find the control, inner thighs, ankles, lower down. Again, think of process. Rather than how many, how fast, how far. Think, feel it, understand it. Last time, left leg and through. Okay. So that's our calf and ankle work. Now we're going to come into some squats. And I'm just going to turn sideways and go change directions as we do this sequence, but you just stay in the same direction. So I'm just going to put my thumbs in my hip creases and then in-breath sit back and out-breath come up. Now, we do a lot of work like this on our reformer, and we're always looking to be stable through the trunk. So I don't want to be collapsing all over the place and my pelvis tilting over the place. I want to be integrating my ribs through to my hips so my abdominal muscles are on. So it's a small squat to start, and it's in-breath sitting back, out-breath, feel your feet, feel the toes, feel the heels to get you tall. In-breath. Doesn't have to be deep to start, but I want that integration, that feeling of being stable and controlled. So again, I think we've done, this is coming up to be number 6. Stay the exercise, but I'm just going to give a different arm movement pattern. I'm just turning so you can see, and it's simply in-breath, fingertips, out-breath, press tall. Always good to do squats in the mirror, because you can see the ankles and knees are collapsing out, which way they're working. Try and find alignment. 2 more. Again, I'm a narrow foot, so my range of movement's not deep. But now I'm going to go wide. So again, this is about the width I'd get on a reformer. I've got my feet turned out slightly, so if I squat, my knees go over the centre of my feet. Okay, so I can go a little bit deeper on this because I've got the turn out and I've got the wider legs. So it's in breath and out breath. We're going to go for 12. First 6 doesn't have to be deep. Again, feel your feet in the floor. I think this is number 5. And number 6. Now the next 6, just try and go a little bit deeper. Go down, drop. So a little bit slower. Down, keep control. A little bit deeper. down. Can we go that a little bit deeper? This is where a mirror is good because it shows us we're shifting to one side. Last one. Now we want to come back to parallel, and we're going to do our squats with our heels raised. So in breath, lift the heels. Out breath, just place the hands back down. This is where we start from here. In breath, a little bit of a squat. Out breath. Think about what we've learned from the feet and the inside thighs. That's 3, we've got 3 more to go. We'll work from the center. Good. So that's some of our strength work, double leg, but now we need to get some strength work and direction going on for single leg. And we're going to be doing a reverse lunge. I'm just testing out how much space I got. That's it. So let's just test this out. So we're going to just step back. Think about what your arms need to do. So which way the arms are going to go. And then out breath, step. Come with me, in breath. We're going to do 6. This is probably number 6. Now, on the next one, as I come back, I'm going to step up into a balance. So, in breath back, out breath. That wasn't so good. Good. March it out. Sorry, you keep losing my head. Okay, so now we're going to go to the side. I'm going to just step back. We're going to step back with me, test it out. Where do you want to be? What alignment? How do you organise yourself? Just feel comfortable in it. Think about where your arms need to be. Okay, and so out breath, in breath. Feel your feet on the floor. This is number 5, number 6, and on the next one, we step back, out breath, balance, and pause. March it out, okay, cushion. Good. Now we're going to go sideways. So same thing, side lunge, 6, then side lunge to single leg balance. Let's just mark out the first side lunge. So I step out in a straight line. My foot's going to be turned out, so my knee tracks over the centre toe, over the middle of the foot. I step back. So again, in breath. Whoa, went too far. This is number 6. So the next one we find our side balance. Good. March it out, make some space for your next series. Again, just test it out. Where do you want to be? How's your alignment? How's that foot and knee? What's your arms doing? And here we go. And 1. This is 6. So we go step and balance. Good, shake it out. Lastly, just come onto a single leg and just balance it out a little bit, get a little bit of control, be lively with the movement. Good, let's go to the other side. Again, just play with that control, that balance, feel your foot respond as we move those arms. Good. So that was our leg strength series. Rather than add more repetitions to any of the exercises, you could do that whole strength series again as a set. So you might want to do the ankle work as a strength series, you might want to do the squat series as extra sets, or you can do your single leg lunging and then lunging to balance as a set. So you might want to do the strength work as extra sets. We're going to now do some standing flexibility work. And so just standing feet about as wide as your hips, nice and relaxed. I'm going to turn to do a standing roll down. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, soften, sit the hips back, and just let yourself release over. Use the in-breath to inflate, and roll back up. Out-breath, deflate, sitting back into the movement. And in-breath, rolling back up through. Again, feel your feet give you height. Out-breath. Now on this next one, we go hold it. Out-breath. Just stay here, keep breathing, just dangle the arms a little bit. Let the arms release a little bit out their shoulders. Let there be a little bit of rotation back and forwards, a little bit of side to side. A little bit circles, come up a little bit higher, that feels better for you. And then when you're ready, breathe in, roll back up. We're going to repeat. Out breath, rolling down. In breath. Out breath. And again, hold it here. Cross the arms over, hold your elbows, and then just swing from side to side. Again, come up a little bit higher, that feels better for you. There'll be some movement in the body. Angle it out, and then when you're ready, breathing in, and come back up. I'm going to face you again. We're going to come into our breaststroke. Now, I'm just going to show you the first part of the movement. So out breath, I come up. But when I'm here, I want to really think about my arms sitting into the back of the body. So I want to bring my armpits backwards. So not forwards, I want to think, bring the arms onto the back of the body. So the movement pattern, come with me, is breathe out. Arms backwards, arms out wide, press down, lift your chest a little bit, look up a little bit. So the chest opens, out breath. Open, press down, shoulder blades working towards each other. And press. Last one. Breathing and down. Okay. Now we're going to work with our rotation. With our rotation, we're going to do a 3 in-breaths to 1 out-breath because it pulses and it goes and back to centre. So the in-breaths are through the nose, the out-breath through the mouth. So just sit down into a little bit, just sort of feel that you're nice and strong. Knees are soft, but strong pelvis and spine. Arms are forward, but not in a T shape, so I can still see them. Palms are facing down. We're going to go that direction. Here we go, breathing in. Get that rotation going. Use the back of the body. Last time. Check it out. Now take your feet wider. Again, toes are turned out, so your knees track over your toes. This time we're going into a saw. Arms are in a straight line. This time palms facing forward. Again, just watch the first one with me. I'm going that direction. So the in-breath, I rotate, I'm staying full. On the out-breath, I lean over. Hand reaches down, this hand reaches up, so the two hands reach away from each other. In breath, I rise back up. Out breath, unfold. Let's start this direction together. So, breathing in, breathing out, deflate, reach. Breathing in, leading with the thumb. Out breath to the other side. Tall in breath. Out breath, deflate. Stretch the fingertips from each other. In breath, back up. Out breath, unrotate. Make it 4 parts. Rotate. Lower down. Rise up. Unrotate. And release. So that's our standing stretches. We're going to come down to our mat work now. I'm working with a soft mat on top of a yoga mat. That gives me some comfort, but sometimes the soft mats stretch out. So having the yoga mat underneath stops that pressing out from doing something like the plank. Our first sequence down on the mat is some little kneeling squats, but also some thigh stretches. This is similar to the work we might do on the trapeze table. So I'm nice and tall, tummy in. We use those thumbs again. This is an idea of a squat. And I'm going to in breath, sit back, out breath, back up. In breath, down, out breath, up. I'm going to add arms. In breath. So it's a press and then a pull. In, pull. Good. Now we're going to do a thigh stretch. If this is uncomfortable for you, miss it out. Only find your range of movement that feels good for you. So we start and so it's a chest fly. In breath opening, out with control. Looking for 6. I think this is number 6. Okay. Now the next sequence, I do some arm swimming. The first thing to do about the arm swimming, the same with swimming the legs, is the breath pattern. And it's 5 rapid in breaths and 5 rapid out breaths. So it's we try to match the pace of the breath with the pace of the arms. Now in this sequence, we're going to be sitting back into our squat. We're going to be bringing the arms up, but it's important you don't extend the spine, because that will lose your proximal control and will take the tension into your back. So make sure your ribs don't flare forward. So sit back, find that connection. Chest down a little bit, I'm looking down, chins in a little bit to help that control. Breathe in, bring the arms up. Breathe out to prepare. Tummy on, and here we go. Release. Nice. Now we're going to come down onto our mat and we're going to get some baby scorpion prep to get some movement in the spine and some rotation and extension. So I'm down on the floor, my arms are in E shape, so the elbows in line with the shoulders. I'm going to bend my knee, I'm going to lift the knee, then roll my hip and bring my foot towards my opposite elbow. I'm going to keep my eyes, my face looking at the floor. Come back down, join with me. So foot, lift the knee, rotate up and around. Keep your head looking at the mat. And again, up. Find the breath that works for you. So this time, you might find that you get better movement on the out breath. You might find that you get better movement with the in breath. So we're getting into some extension patterning, working the glutes, but also working rotation of the spine. Good. Now this next one, I'm going to face you and add a chest stretch to it. So I'm going to bring the leg up and over. I'm going to take this hand and I'm going to press and rotate and turn my head to the ceiling. I'm stretching the other shoulder, but get the head to turn up, come back down, head on the mat, lift up and over. Use this hand, press to get that stretch in the other shoulder, turn the head fully round, back down and through. Good, pressing up into box position now. We're going to work for some spinal mobility. We're going to do the cat. I want you to always make the movement start at the pelvis. So it's a ripple of movement from the pelvis to the head, always from pelvis to head. So take a breath in with me. And as you breathe out, curl your tail under, roll up through the low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, then turn your head to look to your knees. Hold this, breathe and stretch. Start the movement from the pelvis, stay looking at your knees. Turn the pelvis, the low back, middle back, upper back, through the shoulders, through the neck, eyes along the floor, eyes are just in front of my fingertips, breathe into prepare. Keep the eyes looking at the mat, out breath, scoop, draw the tummy in, around the body, soften the ribs, in breath, stretch. Out breath coming out of it, turn the pelvis through the back, moving segmentally through the spine, shoulders draw back, in breath preparing. Out breath, scooping, turning, stay looking at the floor, and the last thing to move is your eyes along the mat, so you end up looking at your knees. Hold on the in breath, and out breath, rolling through. Again, probably doing 6, I might have done a few more. And out breath, scooping, rounding, use that stretch as you use that breath to stretch. And out breath, coming back out. Now I'm going to bring my knees a little bit closer. We're going to come into our bird dog. You probably know this one, so come with me. So we just reach out and out breath. Stay on the same side. Reach and out. Stay square. Now this changes. Stay on the same side, but now bring elbow to knee. In breath, stretch out. Maybe up a little bit higher. So flexion into some extension. Last one. And back down. So, okay, so onto the other side. So find your breath. Here we go, breathing in, reach out. Out breath. Stay stable through the spine. Stay square in the hips and the shoulders. So there's nothing else moving besides my thigh bone, my hip maybe, and my shoulder. 2 more. Stay controlled. Now we add the elbow to knee. Always reaching, maybe extending a little bit more. Coming into our flexion, into extension. Last time, and back down. Nice. Now back to your first leg. We're going to do a single leg kick. And what we're doing it in a kneeling position. So I'm just going to demonstrate. So I reach the leg out. I've got my foot pointed. Slowly I'm going to flex the knee. Then I'm going to flex the foot and flex the knee again. Then I'm going to reach out. So it's kick, kick, reach. Come with me. So shoulders roll back, chest working, tummy on, lengthen through the spine. Knees a little bit closer for balance. Stretch your leg out. Here we go. Point, flex, reach out. Point, flex, reach out. And it's feel the hamstrings, feel the glute. Okay, other leg. Center it, reach out. And we flex, flex, reach out. Kick, kick, point. Okay, back to our first leg again. We're going to work into some extension again. This time think about putting the sole of your foot onto the ceiling. So bring the leg up, you can join me. Think about the sole of the foot and then breathe to press up and back down. So it's going to be breath in. Push a little bit higher and down. Good. Other leg. Come up. Stabilising with the in breath. We push up a little bit more and out breath. Push up. Last one. Good. Now tuck your toes under, hands just a little bit further forward. Scoop the tummy, lift the knees, look at your toes. Bring the leg up, look forward, out breath. Look to your knees, up and okay, swap over. The in breath up. Good. And down. Coming to lie on our front now, a little bit more extension work. We're going to cross the hands over each other, arms around what we call diamond position, forehead resting on the hands. Legs out long, they can be a little bit wider than your hips. Take your breath in and out breath with a lift. In breath, stretch. In breath. Think long. Last one. Good. Now keep the hands down. We're going to go swimming with the legs. With the swimming with the legs, we've got those 5 pulse breaths. It goes. Okay, so head down. Lengthen the legs. Float the legs. Here we go. Swimming. Take your breath in to prepare. And out breath. Okay, now we're going to let the legs lift and do heel beats. I want the heels to beat together, either with the feet flexed, which is the out breath, or with the feet pointed, which is the in breath. Again, it works in pulses of 5. For this one, I'm going to have my hands down, but I'm just going to allow my arms to press into the floor to bring my head up a little bit. Think lengthening through the spine. Lift the legs, flex the feet, take your breath into prepare, and here we go. Point, flex, point. And relax. Hands underneath your shoulders, press yourself up. Bring your knees in and then sit back into child rest position. Take some nice breaths across the back of the ribs. You can have the toes touching if you like, and the knees a little bit wider. Now we're going to come lie down on our back. We want to get some mobility through the spine, so we're going to do a pelvic curl. The pelvic curl is not a glute bridge. It's articulation through the spine, and I've got my feet a little bit further away. So just watch the first one. As I breathe out, I scoop, I tilt, I push into the mat to press up off the mat. So I'm articulating up joint by joint. Think length, send those knees away from you on the in breath. Out breath, soften the chest, go down vertebra by vertebra, and think about the vertebra stretching away from each other. So get some length in the spine in this exercise. Hands on the floor, take a breath in with me, and let's go. Out breath, soften, tilt, scoop. Press into the feet a little bit, but push up out of the spine. Lengthen, send those knees away from you. In breath, hold. As you breathe out and roll down, draw each spine joint, vertebra one by one, away from the last one. Let your lower back find the mat, and then tilt into neutral, where there's the space underneath your lower back. Breath into repair. We're going to add some arms. As you breathe out, scoop, tilt, lower back goes to the mat, then press out of the waistband, press out of the next joint, the next joint, the next joint, the next joint. Lengthen, add the arms, lead with the thumbs, breathing in. Leave the arms here. Out breath, lengthen, roll down. Make sure your lower back still found the mat, tilt back to neutral. Breathing in, the arms come up. Ready to soften, move. Out breath, articulate through the spine. In breath, the arms. Take your armpits to the ceiling. Out breath. Okay, so that's helped us find neutral pelvis as well, where we've got that space underneath our lower back. And now we're going into our proximal abdominal control sequences, and for this we want to maintain in our neutral spine. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, just draw the tummy in, bring one knee up. Knee directly over your hip, hold that knee, don't let the spine move, don't let the pelvis move. Take a breath in, out breath, bring the other leg up. Hands on the front of the knees, toes point this direction, the knees are coming this direction, the hands are pressing the knees away. Take a breath in, blow the air out of your mouth, feel that connection. Twice more. The arms and legs always matching each other's energies. Make fists, hands to the outside of the knees, press the knees out, push back into the arms, breath in. Always look for that control. Hands at the back of the knees. Oh, sorry, cross the hands over in the inside of the knees. Feel the knees try to squeeze in, feel the arms push out. Now the hands to the back of the knees, point the toes away from you. Knees are going that way, arms are pulling this way. Maintain that neutral pelvis. Now, this hand comes to the front, so the toes work this way. This hand stays where it is, the toes point away. Oppositions, and breath in. Swap, think about the feet, toes coming this way, toes going that way. Hands come to the right side of both knees. The hands are on both sides, right side of both knees. The knees are trying to press to the right, but my hands are pushing to the left. Swap. Hands are now on the left and left side of my legs. The legs are going to move to the left, but my hands are pressing back to the right. But we're stabilizing. Isometric contraction. Okay, left hand down. Right hand across, get that connection left knee to right arm. We're going to dip the right toe to the floor. Breath in. Just swap. Foot down, other foot down. Just wriggle, find some length. Now into our next abdominal sequence, we're going to have the head and shoulders up. When the head and shoulders come up, if your low back goes to the mat, that's okay, but try not to let it go down. So bring one leg up, hold it. Out breath, other leg. In breath, the arms to the ceiling. Out breath, coming up into our start position like the hundreds. Feet together. Take a breath in. Press the legs out. Now the next one, press out. In breath, lower. Out breath, lift. Hand behind your hip if you wish. Last one. Bring the knees into your chest. Lower the head and shoulders down. Get the knees over your hips, feet and knees together, arms down by your sides. Sort of a V shape. We're going to rotate and do a leg extension. So as you breathe in, twist, straighten, out breath, pull back in. In breath, twist, straighten, out breath. Keep your head looking at the ceiling. Last time this side, and finishing off. Good. Feet down, lengthen out. Stretch the arms out. We're going to roll up as a transition. So find some length. In breath, the arms look to the wall. Out breath, scoop the tummy in, roll yourself up. Let the knees bend too if you need to in those sequences. Now we're going to come into our spine stretch. Arms face forward, we take a breath in. As you breathe out, scoop your tummy in, roll forwards. Make sure these ribs are soft and draw them back. In breath, stack back up through the spine. Out breath. Bend the knees if you need to. Last one. Good. We're going to come down and do our first glute bridge series. You can either hold the knees or I'm going to use my roll up, roll down sequence. Arms over, circle arms out to the side, bring the knees in. So now glute bridge series, my feet come much closer to my hips. This is where I want to get those glutes and the feet working to press my hips to the ceiling. Take a breath in with me, and as you breathe out, connect, press those hips up, stamp into the feet, and in breath down. Feel the front of your thighs open. Keep your abdominals strong. We're going to do 6, that is number 3. Keep those knees steady. Here we go, we'll go hold up. No, we're not. We're going to press up. But this time, we're going to march a leg up. So lift, in breath down, swap. And down. Stay square and stable. Some marching legs. This time we're staying up. Lengthen the leg. Circle. Focus on the out breath. The in breath will organise itself. So it's out breath. Reverse the direction. Place the foot down. Try and keep your hips square. Get those glutes on. And get that inner thigh. Lift. Circle. Reverse. Place down. Back to our first side. Repeating. Reverse it. Place down. Last is the time for this leg. Control and reverse it. Foot down. Stretch it out. we're getting ready for our roll up again. So if you want to bend the knees or rock yourself up or push yourself to the side, you can do. And breathing in, we repair. Out breath, make sure that tummy comes in, keep the speed steady and controlled. Reach. We're coming into rolling like a ball now. Rolling like a ball is a great way for prepping for our next abdominal series. So I'm going to tilt a little bit on the in-breath. I'm going to bring one leg up. I'm going to push my feet and hands into each other for some balance. Then on the in-breath, rolling, and out-breath, find your balance. Start the movement by bringing your belly button into the base of your spine. Okay, so now from that movement pattern, we're going to set up for our next series of abdominals, which is our single leg stretch and double leg stretch. So hold the back of your legs, out breath, scoop, start to roll. Lower back goes to the mat, head and shoulders, ribs are off the mat, well, low ribs are on the mat, knees come over my hips, keep breathing. Hand to the outside, hand on the knee, take a breath in. It's a double movement on the breath. And pause. Now stay here, hold the shins. We're going to do double leg stretch. In breath, reach, out breath. And release. Head and shoulders down, legs out. Stretch it out. Wriggle a little bit. Sweep the arms through. Okay. I've forgotten my sequence. I'm just going to check my piece of paper. Got it. So, we'll go set up now for our half roll back. So we'll go hold the back of your legs, take your breath in, out breath, control for the doubles. Now, in breath, again, bring your belly button through to the back of the spine and tilt the hips. As you breathe out, keep the tummy scooped, come back up. Arms give you a little bit of support. In breath. But stay always tall, don't collapse into movement. So oppose the idea that your ribs are trying to get anywhere near your pelvis. We're going to take the arms out in front now. Think about pushing your head to the ceiling because it's got a balloon on it. Keep that balloon balanced as you go down and out breath up. We add arm now, so in breath down, we rotate. In breath close, out breath up to the other side. In breath slow, out breath rotate, in breath back, out breath up. Last time. Good. Again, stretch yourself out, roll yourself down, arms up and over, and around, back down my side. Step the legs back in. Second series of glute bridging. So again, make sure your feet are connecting through. Arms are soft, body's long. Take a breath in, strong abdominals. As you breathe out, just press up and back down. We'll go pulse on the next one, so we come up and press. In breath down. Out breath up. Hold it here. And and down. Next time we're coming into the shoulder bridge series of Pilates, so we curl up. In breath, lift the leg, flex, point. Point, come up, place the foot down. In breath, lift the leg, flex. Place it down, roll yourself down, stretch out nice and long. Roll over onto your side. We're coming into our side sequence now. Set yourself up so your hips are down the centre of the mat and your elbows down the centre of the mat. Take your feet forward though, maybe even slightly off the mat. Hands are either side of your head, and just think, can you get those ribs to lift and come back down? So just watch the first one. The leg lifts, so it's roughly in the same height as your hip. And we keep the foot flexed. We kick 1, we kick 2, point, reach behind and lift. I'm going to show you again, and it goes breath. Okay, set up with me. So feet slightly forward, hands comfortable, just chest that ribs. Okay, so ribs are down, leg lift, point the foot, in breath. Reach and lift. Ribs down, ribs up. Last one. Okay, down. Stretch the leg arm out, bring your legs back as they're all down in line with the body. Try and make sure you're stacked on top of each other, not rolling. Get some control. Hand down for support. Top leg lifting, working our abductors. So from here, point the foot, go lift, breathe in, flex, down. And 6 and down. Now step the leg over. We're going to work inside thigh of the other leg. We're going to lift. Now flex the foot on the bottom leg and lift on the out breath. And down. Good. Now spin around onto the other side. Set your hips down the centre of your mat. Set your elbow in the centre of the mat. Feet are forwards. Again, let's just test this out. So let's just test those ribs lifting, the ribs down, leg lift, just kick, kick again, reach back. Okay, so come with me. Just think, keep the foot flexed and we breathe in. Ribs lift, ribs down. Last one. Good. Stretch out in one long line, bottom arm facing down, head resting on your arm, top arm just a little bit of support, top leg, point it, breathing in, flex, down, reach, keep stretching, feel that glute. Last one. Good. Top leg up and over, bottom leg, foot flexed, lifting. Good. From there, roll onto your front. We're coming into our last bit of extension work. Coming towards the end of things. Hands on top of each other. So I've got my left hand on top, so I'm going to lift my left arm, right hand stays on the floor, the right arm, right leg lifts, so it's up and down. We're going to work with the in-breath lift, so just prepare, here we go. probably 6. Good. Swap it over. I've got my right hand on top, so my right hand and elbows lift, my left leg lifts. So again, breathing. Probably 6. Good. Now we're coming into Cobra. So have your hands roughly underneath your shoulders, build up into the movement. So just breathing in, rolling the shoulders and elbows back. And then breathing out, just come up a little bit higher. Hold on your in-breath. Pull your chest forward as out-breath, you come back down. Change your arm positions to think what you need, where it needs to be. So breathing in, preparing shoulders and elbows roll back, start to float. Breathe out to get the movement. In-breath, hold. Out-breath, draw yourself forwards. Let's do a few more. Think about where you want your arms to be. And rolling. Out-breath. Pull your spine out of your groin. Control those shoulders. Last one. Good. Coming up, we're going to do an open leg rocker. Just to sort of lighten the mood of everything. Something quite ridiculous. So start off with just holding sort of calves. Find your balance. Bring one leg up, find the other leg. So what happens is on the in-breath we rock and out-breath up. Maybe start to straighten those legs. I'm going to go out now straight, and it's in-breath and out-breath. In-breath, out-breath. Control. Lift. Last one. Through. So turn now, coming into some sort of finishing off movements, just nice and fluid, giving the chance for our breath to calm down a little bit. So we're going to sit, what I call sit. Some people call it shin box. So we've got one shin going this way, one shin going that way. Get the knees level so your hips and ribs are facing forwards. Our first sequence is hands either side of the knee, take a breath in and out breath, just fold forward. Start to calm your breath down and breathe. You might want to take your body a little bit more towards the centre of the body, towards your shin. You might want to take the body a little bit more to the outside of your thigh. Come back up. Okay, swap over. And again, just come over that knee. Breathe. You might want to just come over that shin a little bit more. You might want to come onto the outside of your thigh a little bit more. Now we're going to take it into some strength work where we're connecting the arms and legs through to each other, so some integration. We're coming into our plank. But we have this little foot movement with the plank, a little rocking movement pattern. So I come up into my plank. I'm going to lift one leg, just watch for a second. I point that foot, I reach away, I come back in, foot flex, down, lift, point, I go in that direction, flex, come back down. So you've got that little rocking movement pattern. Okay, so set up your plank, shoulders roll back, good integration, push the heels away from your earlobes. Lift the leg, but don't let the hips wobble, point, reach, come back in, flex, down. Lift the leg, point, reach, come back in, lift, point, rock, back in. That's it. One more each side. Okay, now we change direction. So we're coming into our reverse plank. So hands can either be pointing sideways or slightly forward. You want to get those shoulders open. You want to get your armpits backwards and your scapula working towards each other. Lengthen the legs, they can be close, shoulders back, lift the plank and down. And breath in to prepare, out breath. And down, look for length. Keep the ribs drawing away from the pelvis. Keep those scapula working. And okay, next sequence, bring the legs in. So this is our leg pull. And we go, there's a modified version. Come up into that box, arch the legs. Nice. Now we come into our side work. We've got a side plank squat. Just watch. So I started with my hand down the centre, my hips are roughly down the centre, but my feet are wide. Top leg forward, bottom leg down. Heel on the mat, toes on the mat, so maybe my toes are off the floor. Just watch what I'm going to do. So I'm going to come up into my side plank. Keep my arm reaching forward, but now I'm going to move my body this way, not that way, but I'm going to sit back at that angle and come back through. So the body moves on this diagonal, not up and down. So again, hand facing forwards, hand, hip down the centre, top leg forward, bottom leg back, toes are on the mat, feet are quite wide. Okay, get ready, breathing in and out breath. In breath squat. And 4. Good. Come over to the other side. Again, hand pointing, hips in the centre, feet, top leg over, heel on the mat, maybe the toes off the mat, other toes on the floor. Again, reach up with me, out breath to prepare, in breath, glide back, out breath. And finish. Nice. Come over onto your hands and knees. We're just going to go through a moving cat. Actually, there's a couple more things we want to do. So we're going to come back to that Z sit. We're going to put some rotation into this movement pattern first. So, Z sit again, hand behind your head, hand roughly at the back of the body. And as you breathe out, roll yourself down, look to your knee, in breath, turn, look to the ceiling. Out breath, get the waist to pull in breath to the ceiling, bend this elbow behind you. Option, bring the elbow to the floor now. Draw the waist in on that rotation. And up. Find your swap. Can you do that without too much control from the other arm? And again, out breath to the knee, in breath, rotate back. Other arm, elbow points behind you. Option to go to the floor now. In breath. And up. Find that swap. Getting better. Now, hand down the centre of the mat. Don't let your waist sink this way. Use this arm to push your waist across that direction. So send the waist to the shin, come up, use this arm to push your ribs that direction, side bend. Come up, counter stretch. I'm going to hold my shin. That's going to help me. In breath, send the waist. Good. On to the other side. Again, how are you doing? Whoops, getting better. Hand down the center. Again, use this arm. Send your ribs. Don't let them collapse down. Send them this way. The hip, waist pushes over. Use the hand to push, even with the elbow bending. I'm still pushing my ribs this direction. Counter. Okay, now come over onto your hands and knees. We're going to do a moving cat, which is then going to help us come up to standing. Tuck your toes under, actually take your toes flat. So from here, as you breathe out, round the back, sit your hips down, elbows a little bit wider. Breathe in, bring your nose along the floor to your thumbs. Lift up and look at the wall. Breathe out, round the back, sit back, elbows down, wide, pull through. And last one. Coming up, now tuck your toes under, walk the hands halfway back. We'll go to a little knee pull, but also a stretch for the feet. So as you breathe out, pull your tummy in, rock your heels backwards, that makes the knees lift. Send the heels down to make those knees lift. Good. Now bring your hands all the way closer and press those heels down, walk the hands back, connect your feet to the floor. In breath coming all the way up. Just finishing, feet nicely connected to the floor. Think about your length and your height in the body. Bring your arms together, in breath, open out to the side. Out breath, lower the arms, and just feel, can you bring your head a little bit closer to the ceiling? Feel where you are in your toes and your heels. Is your body weight connecting on your feet, centered, organised? You're not all in the heels, you're not all in the toes, you're not on the outside, you're not on the inside, they're nicely connected. Last couple. Just think about the foot connection all the way up through to the body. Hold it there. Shake it out. Thanks very much for joining me in the Pilates class for runners. Lots of hip extension work. Keep that proximal control on. Thanks very much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.